Hello, everybody. Welcome to this fall equinox mini celebration. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. The chat box is open, so just leave a comment and let me know if everything seems to be working properly. Hi. Good evening, if you're on the East Coast. Excellent. Thank you very much. So, obviously, if you read the description of tonight, can see and hear you perfectly. Thank you so much. We're doing a little bit of a tea party. So if you haven't grabbed some tea yet, then go ahead and do that. We'll start in a few minutes. If you already have your tea or your beverage of choice, then leave a comment in the chat box and let me know what flavor of tea you decided to drink tonight. I have my black cat mug. For those of you who don't know, I have a black cat, so I saw this and I thought it was really cute because it reminds me of my cat. And on the back, it states the obvious. It says, "I am a cat." But this is one of my favorite mugs, and I have dandelion mint tea. It's a whole leaf tea that I absolutely love. I forget where I got it. Maybe one of the local grocery stores, but it's delicious. Raspberry leaf and maple apple cider. Wow, very fallish. That's really cool. I have to ask though, does it have natural and or artificial flavors in it? Because you know me, I try to go very, very natural with my food. That's actually something that started this year. I haven't actually talked about it that much, but yeah, I did a kitchen overhaul at the beginning of the year, even before the pandemic started, and was glad I did, because then when we were cooped up in the house, I didn't really have a lot of unhealthy, artificially flavored junk food in the house, so it sort of helped when my exercise regimen went out the window. At least I was eating whole, natural foods. Oh, you chose jasmine. Oh, that's cool. I love Moroccan mint. Good flavors. Very nice. And yes, the mindfulness that we're going to be doing, this mindfulness exercise, it is tea related, but of course, if you are not a tea drinker, that's totally fine. You can have any beverage or no beverage. I'm going to mention it later, but mindfulness, especially the way that I like to teach mindfulness, what I say is just guidance. It's not anything you have to feel forced or obligated to do. So when I say we're having a tea party, it's totally up to you. I wouldn't approve. I wouldn't approve of the maple. Yeah, see, I hear maple apple cider and I think it's gotta have crud in it that I don't eat. Oh, good, you bought the chocolate rooibos. I almost decided on the chocolate rooibos tonight. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of cocoa powder and cocoa powder and milk in my chocolate rooibos, and it's kind of like a tea version of a hot cocoa, so it's really cool. Yeah, that all sounds delightful. Thank you for joining me in this tea. I haven't done a tea party before. This is fun. And I just pitched it to one of the libraries that I usually do an annual in-person concert. They were like, "You want to do something virtual?" And I said, "What if we do a tea party on Zoom?" So I haven't heard back from her. We'll see what she says. But I think that'd be fun. A holiday tea party. Anyway, mine is still a little bit too hot to drink. But while all of you are gathering and people are signing on and getting their tea, let's go over some announcements and logistics of the evening. For those of you who tune into my lives, you know that I love to print my notes. I'm very old school when it comes to that. I like my notes on paper in front of me, so you'll see me glancing down, and you might also hear some like swishing of paper in the microphone, which I apologize for. But it just helps me to keep everything organized and moving along, because I do try to keep all of these live streams somewhere between 40 minutes and an hour. So, and usually we're pretty good. We're usually right in that time. So the first announcement is that I hit my first YouTube milestone of 100 subscribers, and I'm so excited about that. So thank you all who are subscribed to the channel and who have been sharing the videos. That is really cool, because I was not doing practically anything with my YouTube channel, and then when the pandemic hit, I decided to go live for there was a World Healing Harp Hour that was launched by a different therapeutic harpist, but I decided to join in on that, and I had a decent amount of people tune in and watch, and a lot of people have watched the playback, and I realized that there's something there, and I realized that I don't have to use my YouTube channel just to put out harp music, as beautiful as it is. There are so many harpists doing it, and there's no shortage of beautiful harp music on YouTube. But I was working towards my meditation and mindfulness certification, and now I have that certification, and I also have my master's in psychology. So I thought, you know what? I don't want to just have my YouTube channel be for harp music. I want to combine everything, all of the skills that I've acquired over the years, and I want to make a community that is all about comfort and healing during all of these stressors and hardships that have been going on. So thanks everybody. The woman working at the grocery store was intrigued when I told her about it and asked where it was. What, the chocolate rooibos? She was intrigued by the chocolate rooibos. Yeah, I know. It's not one that a lot of people hear about. And of course, different teas have different benefits and all that good stuff, which we're not really going to get into too much tonight. We're going to talk more about just the art of tea drinking. But of course, some people choose it for the herbs and the minerals. And some people choose it for the flavor. Whatever is up, it's up to you. Whatever floats your boat. So yes, so thank you so much for everyone who is subscribed. Please keep sharing, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will, because it would be great to have this channel continue to grow. So I'm really happy. It's the very first kind of small, big milestone, but I was happy to hit it, because when I started this Serenity Sounds series to cope with the pandemic, I think I was in the 30 range for subscribers, so that's not too shabby. So thank you so much. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was a few links that I posted in the description box below. And I posted my link to my harpscapes because I was thinking about tea drinking and how we're going to be talking about tea as a moment for self-care. And I put out, I send harpscapes to my email subscribers every week, and they are 5-minute videos of harp music, usually set to nature visuals or just some other soothing visual. And I thought about how great it would be to combine your moment of tea drinking with the harpscapes, because it's just that 5 minutes of time. So I thought that some of you might be interested in that. So the link is in the description box below to go and sign up for the harpscapes. And it does put you on my email list, but I am not at all spammy. I usually just send the harpscapes with a couple updates here and there if I have products released or live streams, different events. But otherwise, you get your harpscape, it goes right to your email inbox, and you can sit and you can watch it, and you can just take a moment to breathe and just be present with the video. So I've gotten some really great feedback on that, and I think the last one that I sent out was maybe number 17. So yeah, 17 weeks of putting out harpscapes, so it's really exciting. So that link is below. Also, there are a few links to other Serenity Sounds videos that have to do with coping with change. And I think I put the visualizing your future meditation, just a few that I thought topically kind of overlapped with things that we're going to talk about tonight. So if you are interested in watching those or revisiting those, the links are in the description box below. And then I have, my recipe for the chocolate rooibos. Yeah, my little almost cocoa tea. So here's our agenda for the evening. So we're going to talk about the fall equinox and how it relates to reflection and healing, because we've been dealing with a lot of stress and a lot of changes this year, and now we are going into the final months of the year. So we're going to talk about what that means. And then we'll have our mindful tea drinking. We're going to talk about tea as a moment. And then I will end with therapeutic harp music for healing and reflection. And I'll, depending on how much time we have left, I'll probably play for about, I want to say 15 minutes is my goal. But once we get to that point, I will figure that out. Okay, so let's talk about this fall equinox. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, fall is rolling in, and the fall equinox is on Tuesday. And I talked about this when I went live for the spring equinox, that of course we are going to be seeing a balance of night and day. So the day and night are going to be equal lengths. This has a lot of connections to things that we're going through, and I'm going to try to keep it pretty simple. But some things that I wanted to talk about were how the fall season is approaching, and here in New England, we are already seeing those changes. The cold weather's moving in. When I woke up this morning, it was in the 40s out, which, I mean, that's fall. That's fall in Massachusetts. And we're already starting to see the leaves changing color. So with this, I started thinking about nature, and I've been thinking a lot about nature this year. I'm sure a lot of us have, because we have been spending more time outside because we don't want to be cooped up during stay-at-home orders and things like that. So I think a lot of us are starting to feel this newfound connection to nature that maybe you haven't had before. But also, we are facing a lot in nature that is making us realize that we are not, like, as humans, we are not as big and important as we think we are, because there's nature, and nature is a greater force than we are. And I think as humans, it's an uncomfortable thought, because we want to have control over things, and there are just some things that we don't have control over. That doesn't mean that we can't try and make things better, and it doesn't mean that we can't cope with the things that we don't have control over. But nature is a greater force than we are as humans. So we've seen that with the virus. We're seeing it now with the wildfires out on the West Coast. A few places, I know even here in New England, we're experiencing a drought. North of here, there's a severe drought going on. So we're seeing it. And of course, along those lines, anyone who is being affected by the wildfires, and I know in California they just experienced a pretty sizable earthquake today. I just want to extend my positive vibes and prayers out to all of you who are dealing with that, and I hope you're all staying safe. This idea of nature and the force of nature can be very intimidating when we see it. Usually we see the changes of the seasons, or we just kind of go through our life and we're like, oh, the leaves, they look so beautiful. And we're not really thinking about the greater meaning behind all of that. This year, though, nature and nature's force has really wreaked havoc on our lives and on humanity in general. So I think it's a little bit more apparent. And even though it is scary and it's intimidating to think about, there's also a positive side to this, because when we start to see ourselves as smaller beings, we can start to appreciate the interconnectivity of other beings in society. So we are connected to wild animals. We are connected to plants. We are connected through this universe and through nature. So I think it's a nice way to sort of reset ourselves and kind of gauge a new perspective on things. So what we're going to do is we're going to use tonight as a moment of reflection and a moment of healing. I say it a lot in my videos where we are going to use this time to equip ourselves to move forward and face whatever stressors come our way. And in order to do that, a lot of reflection does also have to take place. So this can be reflecting on challenges that we've faced in the year so far. It can be reflecting on the positives and the meaning that have come from those changes. Because even the hardships that we have faced right now, this evening, we are all here and we are all sending out comforting vibes together, and we're gathering as a community. So this year has led us here, and that's something that is positive and meaningful that has come out of our challenges. Looking forward, I know at least for me, I love the changing of the seasons. I love when the fall weather rolls in. But in the back of my mind, of course, I'm thinking, well, what is that going to mean for health? Because cold season's coming, flu season's coming, and we still are in the middle of this pandemic. So there's sort of a little bit of a dark cloud hovering over this new season that's approaching. So I think getting together like this and experiencing some mindfulness and some harp music will help us to gear ourselves up for whatever comes our way in the fall. And just remember that we have made it through everything that we've made through so far. So we can continue doing that. And when we have these tips and these skills at our disposal, it can make things even easier because we can take time to ourselves to cope and to be introspective with ourselves and to heal, and then we can go out in the world and we can share that healing essence with others, and we can be, I'm going to use my word again, equipped to deal with whatever struggles and hardships come our way, because we're not painting it in any rosy colors. We are not out of the woods yet, and winter's coming, so we don't know what's going to come along with winter. So the best we can do is to make sure that we are feeling secure and stable in ourselves, in our mental health, in our physical health, and our well-being, so we can best serve our needs and the needs of others moving forward. So that's just a few of my musings as the fall equinox approaches. I'm going to consult my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have our mindful tea drinking, and then I'm going to play music for reflection and healing. And this is going to be your time to think about whatever comes to your mind naturally. And this can be something that's a struggle or a hardship that you faced, or it can be something positive. But whatever comes to mind, feel okay accepting and sitting with those emotions. It's not always pleasant what comes up. If we think about something that was challenging or stressful, it might have some negative emotions. And sometimes it might be a mix of emotions. You might feel grief from all the changes that have happened this year, but then you might also think, well, but there's positive that has come out of that. So you might have to work through that mix of emotions. Whatever comes up, just remember that this is a safe and healthy space to work through your emotions. And it's much better to find these moments to work through them than when you're out in the world trying to live your life and something happens and you're like, oh my goodness, oh, I'm so sad and anxious. And I know, because I have those moments too. But this is why it's so great to get together once in a while and be able to sit down, take your you time, and know that even though you can only see me, there are other people behind their screens right now, and we're all sending out soothing, healing vibes together. So That being said, if you find that whatever emotions get stirred up, if you find them to be too much, then I'm going to give you a few anchors that will help you to orient yourself in your present environment. So if the reflection becomes too much, you can always just find your way back to this moment. And the 3 anchors are going to be your breath, the tea, and the music. So these anchors are there to focus on whenever you need them, and they can guide you to this more present state. And this way you can remind yourself that what's in the past can't hurt you. It's already been done. What's in the future, we don't know yet. So what's ruminating on that going to do, right? We know that it's there and we'll deal with it when it comes. So there is benefit in being present as well. So it's up to you what you want to do this evening. If you want to reflect, if you want to look towards the future a little bit, or if you just want to be present. But know that wherever you are, you can always go back to your anchors, your breath, the tea, and the music. And what this does is this engages multiple senses, because you're going to engage multiple senses when you're feeling your breath, hearing your breath, smelling whatever you're smelling when you're breathing in. The tea, same thing, and we're going to go over that in a minute. And of course, the music will engage your sense of hearing. And if your eyes are open, you can watch me playing. So this is why they're really good points of focus that you can use to be more present. Let's see, I already said that, so I'm gonna try not to talk too much. So let's just move right into our mindful tea drinking. So I want you to grab your tea or whatever beverage you have, and I want you to just hold the mug or the cup in your hands. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, you can do that. And first we're going to engage this sense of touch. So I want you to feel the sensation of the mug in your hands. And maybe you have a ceramic mug that is usually cold to the touch, but maybe your tea is warm. So maybe you feel that heat being conducted through your mug. And notice the size of the mug, its shape, its weight. And then I want you to take a breath in through your nose, and I want you to see if you can smell the aroma of your tea. And think about what flavor of tea you have, and think about the notes of the herbs and the leaves that are in that tea. And see if you can decipher any of those when you breathe in. Taking breaths in to smell something will automatically deepen your breath, which is really nice because deepening your breath will engage relaxation responses in your body. So when you inhale through your nose, allow that to be as long as you feel comfortable, as long of a breath. And then I want you to slowly lift the mug to your lips and take a sip of your tea. And those same notes that you smelled, see if you can taste them. Because as we know, taste and smell, the senses are very close to one another. And think about the nutrients that are entering your body. But I also want you to remember that this tea is not just feeding you with its nutrients, because we are mindfully drinking. So the tea is giving us a moment. And we have to think about when people talk about the benefits of tea, and if you are drinking these natural leaves. I mean, we're drinking nature right now, and that's why this whole evening is about nature connection, right? We are drinking nature. But I like to think about the difference between the people who say, oh, I hear that tea can have benefits. I'm just going to chug a bunch of tea. But what's really more beneficial? Chugging all the tea, hoping that you'll get some vitamins and some herbs, or taking our time and giving ourselves a moment? Because it's not just about what we are feeding our bodies as we drink the tea. It's about taking that moment to breathe, breathing in, smelling the aromas, feeling the warmth, because warmth equals comfort. I drink tea at least twice a day, and I had a mindfulness journal prompt that said, drink your tea mindfully today. And it took me 3 days to actually do it. 6 tea drinking would-be moments. And I realized I don't usually use my tea as a moment. And I didn't like that realization, because there's so much more that goes into having a cup of tea than just what you are putting inside your body. This is an art. It's an art of slowing down. It's an art of engaging the senses. And that's exactly what mindfulness is. It's an art of slowing down, engaging the senses, directing your thoughts and guiding them to where it's going to be most valuable and beneficial. So next time you drink your tea, or even your coffee or your hot chocolate, because those can have nutrition as well, I want you to expand your scope, though, beyond the nutrition. And I want you to see it as a moment. See it as a holistic practice that will bring soothing and stress relief and calm. Because that's where we really start to benefit from the inside and the outside, taking this moment. So take a few more breaths or sips. And now this is where we come to your choice of where you would like to take your moment. So perhaps you want to stay right here, focusing on every breath, every sip, the music that I'm about to play. Or maybe you want to reflect on your year so far, or embrace all the moments that are leading up to this one, that have led up to this one. Go wherever feels natural, but remember that your anchors are there if you want to refocus. The mindful self has the ability to accept without judgment, to guide attention where it will be most worthwhile. Use your anchors to help you. Your breath, the tea, and the music. those of you who are still in a reflective state, gently guide your attention back to the present moment. Focus on your body rooted to the ground beneath you, the inhale and exhale of your breath, the final sounds of the harp, the residual sensations of the warm tea that you accepted into your body. And just find a few more moments of stillness in this present moment. Take a few final cleansing breaths to end our practice this evening. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in and out. And last one, breathe in and out. Feel free to stay in this moment as long as you wish, but if you're ready to open your eyes, then do so now. And as always, I'm going to keep my end short and sweet so you can stay in this moment and embrace it a little bit longer. But I just want to say thank you for joining me this evening, and thank you for helping me hit 100 subscribers. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. The chat box will be open for a couple more minutes. If not, you can always leave a comment below. Check out the links in the description box and the Harpscapes sign up if you would like to get harp videos sent to you every week. That's in there as well. And just keep sharing, please. Keep sharing the videos. I have a few really cool ideas for videos in store coming up soon, where we're going to be talking about authentic mindfulness practice. So that's something that we're going to be embarking on very soon. So I'm working on that right now, so that'll be exciting. Thank you, Rosie. Thanks, everybody. I'll leave the chat box open for another few seconds, but thank you all very, very much, and I wish you all a happy fall, and I can't wait to do this again soon.